So that's what I've prepared. I put Megan's email up here. She's one of the recruiters for Deloitte and ESG. It's interesting because the recruiting base, like I've mentioned, has been from many different backgrounds. So, where you think this might not be the typical career path, I think many people in my group would say that they didn't think they'd end up in this career path. But it's been very exciting work that we're doing. And while it's very audit based and audit can feel maybe less exciting, the work that we've been doing has been very exciting and rewarding. So that's all I have.
I have so many questions. I'll try to limit it to 10. Okay, so
What is that? Can you go back and put that slide on the different kinds of audit? Assurance?
Sure.
I really want to see that.
Yeah, sure. Limited versus reasonable?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a pop-up that blocks this last one, but like that.
okay,
Okay.
so let me be just a little bit of a devil's advocate.
Yes.
But my friend Greta Thunberg and I are not going to attend COP27 because we both believe it's all just greenwashing.
Mm.
And now you guys are going to be providing assurance services for greenwashing. If I was a senior partner in any one of the accounting firms, my retirement's just going to disappear. If I'm the auditor of Volkswagen, when they were lying about all the diesel output, I would hate to have been the auditor who certified Volkswagen.
Well, I guess.
So
Okay.
I'm just saying, a CPA is certified to audit financial statements.
Yep.
And it's just scary when you guys think we're going to go into the engineering. I mean, this is engineering. This is not financial reporting. It's engineering. And it's many different disciplines of engineering. I would like to have the risk assessment people from the accounting firms come in and tell us how they did the risk assessment.
Yeah, and I'll say in part, I mean, historically, if you're using the audit of a Volkswagen as an example, historically, we're looking at financial statement balances, right? We're not looking at metrics that we're now looking at. And in terms of the team of people, you're not really having CPAs with typical CPA backgrounds as the only ones signing the opinion. So in some regards, you have engineers on the team. Like I have an engineer on my team. He doesn't work on all the accounts with me, but in cases where we need someone with that level of expertise, he's there because the partners, to your point, aren't comfortable signing an opinion to something that is not something that they, have a background in. So I see your hesitation, but I think in many ways, what we've done in the past is more financial statement account balance. The way you do an audit is getting enough information to support what's in the financials. So, and our opinions say, right, you are, I guess this little pop-up would be helpful, right? In our opinion, they're presented in all material respects, right? So based on what we've looked at, we don't see an issue, but we weren't looking at metrics like that in the past. And frankly, they weren't reported for a lot of companies in the past.
Good luck.
I know, it won't be easy, but it'll be exciting.
It will be. Just one.
I am in the ICPA ASAC Assurance Service Exec Committee, and there is a strong feeling that some form of assurance on ESG and some form of assurance on cybersecurity is going to be the big business that will bring growth to the profession again.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. And cybersecurity is coming too. I mean, I spent my time kind of focusing a little bit on the SEC rule set on climate, but there is an SEC rule set coming out on cyber, right? So it definitely will provide more work.
But the problem is exactly what you have here, is that the numbers are, I would say, easy to validate, but there is a set of validation. A lot of stuff in ESG is extremely subjective. And unless the governments come up with rules, and each government is coming up with their rules, and we found 17 standards
Yeah.
in ESG, would be very difficult to do it. So it's
Yeah.
a knife that cuts in both directions.
Definitely will be difficult. As I mentioned, there are people with very skilled expertise to help with certain calculations. I mean, I don't think I'll be the person on the team calculating, you know, whether or not the company got the greenhouse gas emission calculation accurate. But I will make sure that they use the right rule set and they've pulled in the right parts of a framework in order to calculate it. Whereas somebody else might say, well, comparatively to what, you know.
Actually, the gas is reasonably easy. We have a paper here on measuring methane emissions using
Yeah.
satellite data. Those are objective. It's the S and the G that gets especially difficult, and
Yep.
some variables in the E. And if there is no regulation, auditors cannot. Basically, when you issue an audit, you look at what are the rules, and if they obey the rules. If there is no
Right.
rules, it's very difficult to validate that.
Right, but did they provide support for a metric that they put in place? You know, if they said that they were gonna get to a 10% increase in a certain diversity metric, well, show us who's responsible for that, show us your progression towards that increase over time. You know, do you have a control that establishes hiring and retention of certain talent? You know, it might not be us saying 10% is the right number, but the process that you have in place is appropriate or reasonable based on our review.
I think that's a credible.
Yeah.
Credible measurement on what you're saying, but there are many things that don't have credible measures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying you have to stop. You just need it.
That's so interesting. Thank you.
All right, Michael, I'll hold you to that one.